Welcome back to Antitrust Insider. As many of you know, I worked for the Department of Justice for 25 years. I mean, how could you not know? I say it like every episode. But it's times like these that I feel my retirement, and I wish that I was still with the DOJ. But anyway, National Healthcare Fraud Takedown results in 324 defendants charged in connection with over $14.6 billion in alleged fraud. Instead of reading the entire article, let me provide you with my own summary of the major parts. In a historic crackdown on healthcare fraud, the DOJ today, June 30th, announced the results of its 2025 National Healthcare Fraud Takedown, the largest enforcement action of its kind in U.S. history. The sweeping operation led to criminal charges against 324 defendants, including 96 doctors, nurses, pharmacists, and other licensed medical professionals spanning 50 federal districts and 12 state attorneys general offices. The schemes involved an unprecedented $14.6 billion in intended losses, more than doubling the previous record of $6 billion. The nationwide effort, coordinated with federal and state law enforcement, targeted fraudulent practices that exploited vulnerable patients and drained taxpayer-funded programs. Attorney General Pam Bondi emphasized the administration's commitment to justice, stating, "The record-setting takedown delivers justice to criminals who prey upon our most vulnerable citizens and steal from hard-working taxpayers." HHS Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. echoed the sentiment, vowing to aggressively combat fraud that had previously driven up healthcare costs. The takedown revealed staggering schemes, including transnational criminal operations responsible for over $12 billion in fraudulent claims. One such case, Operation Gold Rush, led to charges against 19 defendants, including foreign straw owners who allegedly purchased U.S. medical supply companies to submit $10.6 billion in false Medicare claims for urinary catheters and other equipment. The conspirators exploited stolen identities of over 1 million Americans, laundering proceeds through cryptocurrency and offshore shell companies. Thanks to swift action by HHS OIG and CMS, only $41 million of the intended $4.45 billion in fraudulent payments was released, with the remaining funds set to be returned to Medicare. Another egregious case involved Pakistani marketing firms accused of stealing Medicare beneficiaries' data and using AI-generated voice recordings to fabricate consent, just like we've talked about here, for unnecessary medical products. These fraudulent claims totaled $703 million, with $418 million paid out before authorities seized $44.7 million in illicit gains. In yet another scheme, a defendant based in Pakistan and the UAE orchestrated a $650 million Medicaid fraud by billing for substandard addiction treatment services and using kickbacks to recruit homeless and Native American patients. The takedown also exposed fraudulent wound care practices, with 7 defendants charged for billing $1.1 billion for unnecessary amniotic allografts, often applied to elderly hospice patients with superficial wounds. These people should not just be imprisoned, they should burn in hell. Meanwhile, 74 defendants, including 44 medical professionals, were charged in opioid trafficking cases, accused of illegally diverting over 15 million prescription pills. DEA Acting Administrator Robert Murphy condemned these actions, stating, "When doctors become drug dealers, DEA will act." Telemedicine fraud also featured prominently, with 49 defendants linked to $1.17 billion in false genetic testing and equipment claims. One Florida case involved a $46 million scheme where telemarketers targeted Medicare beneficiaries for unnecessary tests. Beyond these high-profile cases, an additional 170 defendants faced charges for $1.84 billion in fraud, including fake billing for diagnostic tests and stolen medications meant for veterans and children. Hell needs to make some more room for these people now too. VA Acting Inspector General David Chase emphasized the importance of protecting benefits for the nation's heroes. To combat future fraud, the DOJ announced the creation of a healthcare fraud data fusion center, leveraging AI and advanced analytics to detect emerging schemes. Led by the Healthcare Fraud Unit's data analytics team, this year's takedown reflects an unwavering commitment to safeguarding healthcare integrity. As Matthew R. Gagliotti, head of the DOJ's criminal division, stated, "We will use every tool to protect the American people." With billions recovered and hundreds of criminals held accountable, this operation marks a pivotal moment in the fight against healthcare fraud. That said, I'm very gratified that the DOJ broke up this huge healthcare fraud ring. I am also glad that the DOJ broke the $6 billion record with a $14.6 billion bust. But I would be remiss if I didn't say that I wish I was still a part of it. It feels weird to simply be reporting on this and not being in on the action. If you found this video helpful and informative, please hit that subscribe button, like, and comment. Until next time, stay vigilant, stay honest, and come back for more Antitrust Insider.